Hey. Hello. Are we here inside, folks? Can you hear me okay? I walk for a beautiful American flag. All right, can you hear me? I'm not touching a damn thing. All right. Hello. Well, hey there, guys. How's it going? So far, things seem to be working. There may be a shadow on my neck. I don't really care. Oh, is this coming? Are we doing from the FaceTime camera below? Look now. Am I looking at the camera? I think I am. So you hear me loud and clear. Good. That's a good start. The thing is is projecting from my camera forward, right? I mean, that's what we need here because we don't want stupid stuff happening like the FaceTime camera. It's the up the nose view, of course. All right, we can fix that. And that, my friends, is fixed. Look how easy that was. Huge, huge. Hello, everyone from Ontario, Canada. Trina Miner. Can we move there, please? Can you help us? You guys are right, by the way, about the tariffs. And it's kind of funny how Trump wimped out to Trudeau. I think they made a deal, which is Trudeau would play a Cyrano de Bergerac kind of role and hide in the bushes and whisper things to Trump to say to Ivanka when she's up on the window. Oh, yes. Help us, Canada, please. I see that in here. Listen, thanks for being here. We're doing a little bit of a shorter show today. I told you that. Although Tony may jump in at some point. I keep seeing the nasal cam stuff. Did it look good up there? I try to cut the nose hairs and everything. I know, TMI. Tony is going to actually be going to the protest in Jefferson City. Missouri. So he may actually stream in here. We don't know. But yes, keep asking Canada for help, everybody. We like you guys. Maple syrup, excellent. Support for democracy, excellent. Healthcare, weird. You think everybody should have it. What a strange place Canada is. Maybe we call it a civilization, a society. Shared mutual interests formed for the public good into a democracy. We used to do that. We did that here. I think we actually were like the first one in the world, except for some very small republics here and there. But, time takes a toll. Just like it has on Tesla, which is my second favorite story of today. My favorite story, of course, is Jasmine Crockett. And let's not forget Elizabeth Warren, Maxwell Frost, Jamie Raskin, nose hairs were clipped. Thanks, Jim. They all actually are doing something now. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. That'll probably just be the first and easiest rant to do because I'm liking what I'm seeing now after a long period of time of not liking what I was seeing. Democrats are finding their footing. And it's coming from the younger leaders where we knew it was going to come from. Again, if you're, it's not an ageist thing. It seems to just be the way these guys were raised in a different environment where Democrats just sort of sat there and took a beating. If you're one of the folks who is one of the older Democrats who kicks butt, we welcome you. No need to go anywhere. If you're at a point where you think that most people want bipartisanship and you believe polls, we don't. And that's actually, I think, why don't we just do a quick rant on this and then we'll continue talking. A quick takedown, let's call it what it is. And then I got it. We'll do our takedown, and then we will mark Cliff's note a little bit after that of what I am seeing in general. But, guys, seeing Jasmine Crockett yesterday, what a breath of fresh air. I actually tried to bring up I'm looking at Jim here saying it's just time, Cliff, and he's right. It's time. Okay, there are a bunch of us who are depressed after the election. I've talked about my issues. Other people talked about theirs. I had trouble getting out of bed for a few weeks. I also had something going on with my family that's still going on and made it even tougher. But we couldn't believe it, right? How could this country, it sort of destroys everything you believe in, right? Because you believed that people make rational decisions. And even if this country had a group of yahoos riding around in Trump diapers and upside down flags and, dancing to I Won't Do What You Tell Me, having no idea what that song actually means and who it was written about, we thought that the overall people could make a rational decision against voting for a felon and an assault type of guy and a lifetime con man and everything else he is. And it came close, and Kamala actually came the closest of anybody in the Western world. There are just other forces. We won't get into that. But let's start right here with Jasmine Crockett. So representative of where the Democratic Party needs to head. Again, we want diversity all around, but that it's a young Black woman that had to work her way up, became a lawyer, showed up in Washington. She's young-ish, certainly young for that body. I mean, 60 is young in there. She's really young for that place, and is not scared to take on the largest forces in the world. Monopolies, guys that like to get up on stages and do their Roman salutes, the Jabberwocky we talk about here, who spray paints himself orange for some weird reason. She's ready to stand up against all of that. And what she did yesterday may be a turning point for us. It really may, because courage is contagious. Cowardice is contagious. And when I saw some of these Democratic responses, something, if you've listened to me, that I always say is everything is a messaging opportunity. When there's a microphone in front of your face, if somebody says to me, "Hey, Cliff, how do you like that salad?" I would say, "It's okay, but I think it's more expensive now because Republicans have acted like morons, have decided that they're going to go deport workers who did nothing but come here to make a better life for themselves and contribute to the American economy. And therefore, on farms, the lettuce was cheaper. And I was able to get it for cheaper. So now I'm going to be able to do fewer things today." You see, I don't know. I made that up off the top of my head. It's not tough. So when I hear this older guard of Chuck Schumer and people saying like, "Shame on them," or, "We're going to drop some legislation." No. You call them what they are. Okay. Messaging works when you say it over and over again. Jasmine Crockett says it over and over again. And this one, she told them, "We're not going to, we have oversight," which they do. Congress has oversight. They're not, it's illegal. Let's back up for a second. Elon Musk broke into the Treasury Department. He brought his bunch of little incel plumber friends, all of whom look like the dorkiest crew of losers and have made up names. If you've heard their names, I mean, they can't be real. It's like, "Hey, look, it's Troutfish King, and it's Gondola Ski Face," and I mean, these are names out of like Guardians of the Galaxy. So they're there. They're 19. They have access to all sorts of our information. Donald Trump said, well, if there's anything where they need clearance for, of course they don't have access. And I'm sure we all believe Donald Trump because he's pretty honest. The former Treasury official who they asked originally, who would not let them have access to it, either resigned or was fired over it. Doesn't really matter. He did his job. So Elon breaks in there and they start getting into all sorts of sensitive systems. Any of you who have paid your taxes through direct deposit, been paid by the government, they have your information. Ludicrous. Elon Musk should be arrested right now. Elon Musk should be in prison right now. Elon Musk, when he came to this country with the emerald fortune his parents made off of the backs of Black folk in South Africa, who they basically came pretty close to enslaving, certainly Jim Crow plus, was working here illegally. He did not have a work permit to be here. There's so many reasons this person should not be doing what he is doing. But on top of all of that, okay, he was not elected to anything. Doge is a dumbass, it's a meme from 15 years ago. It's stupid. It's a joke. It's like an uncle joke he made on Twitter that nobody found funny. It is not something that is a committee. And here's the deal. The Senate has to empower committees. There was no Senate vote. Hey, guys, guess what? I've created the committee of Cliff sitting in the chair right here. And that means that's my very own committee. I can go to the Treasury Department, Interior, just break right in because I have the Cliff sitting in the chair committee. That committee I just created has as much power as Elon's in our law. He's breaking multiple laws just by being there, by looking through information, preserving records. So Jasmine Crockett got up and walloped him. And I love what she said about him. She referred to Donald Trump, a wannabe dictator, and his little friend from Twitter, which, as a start, as you know, the ego is cry. She called it, the whole thing, again, sorry, on YouTube here, BS, referred to it as a whole bunch of BS. And again, I am liking the fact that Democrats are cursing more. Not, you shouldn't curse just to curse, but sometimes that's the only word you can say. I heard an F-bomb out of Chris Murphy the other day, who's been another great leader. These are the ones stepping forward, this generation. Jasmine went further. She was awesome. And I want to make sure to get you everything she said, because leaving anything else, leaving anything out would be a crime, frankly. She also, let's say, started by sharing the fact that they're part of oversight. They have a right to look over the Treasury. They walked in and were not allowed in. That also is illegal. She and Frost, Representative Frost, another great young representative, tried to get in. No, wouldn't let them. Just to show how good Frost is for a second, he said, "We are here today because an unelected billionaire and his team have given full and unfettered access to our taxpayer money in our government." Yes, unelected billionaire, and worse, he should be referred to every time. "We just tried to enter the Treasury building as members of Congress, and we will, because we need to provide oversight to Elon Musk and his team. We don't know what they're doing behind these closed doors." Good. Ask that question so people are wondering when he has our personal information. Jasmine Crockett, she is on a roll. Here you go, guys. Quote, "The problem is Americans thought it was okay to take a full-fledged criminal and make him president of the U.S., and then they wanted to act aghast when he does criminal things. Let me tell you, we have a thug in charge of the U.S. If we don't wake up, we may not have a U.S. He's doing everything he can to get rid of checks and balances. The problem is that Americans thought it was okay." Okay, that's repeating the full-fledged criminal part. And the thug part, although it's never not fun to repeat the criminal and the thug part. The importance is she gets that you don't normalize this behavior. A couple of these senators that are voting for these picks, shame on you. I could say worse, except for, and I could message about you, except for you still have been, most of you guys I like and gals have been good on most things. But when I see Republicans getting even 5 or 6 votes for any of their nominees, this is an illegitimate administration. This is a fascist administration. This is an administration that's let Elon Musk, a guy that saluted Hitler, do what he's done. This is an administration that run by a felon who already has put out executive orders that are ludicrous and have no power in law, that froze grants. I have a good friend of mine, who works in this building I work in here. He makes our water cleaner, is what he does. They've frozen the payment to him, a large amount of money. I don't want to get into details because I don't want to get anybody in any trouble. And his business may go under for work he's already done. I assume this is going all over the country. That's how you destroy individuals and destroy an economy. Jasmine Crockett's not having it. She stood up. She called them out. She said they were full of crap and that they were going to get in. And she said, "We will not leave," and stayed there. And that is what they need to do. They need to get DC police go in and arrest Elon Musk. He is a criminal. Okay. But the more important thing here is Jasmine and Frost, okay, showing up there. Jamie Raskin. We're finding ourselves finally, guys. We're not answering with this little mealy mouth, wimpy, yes, there's still too many people voting for their people, but our people are starting to kick butt. And Jasmine Crockett is leading the way, and I'm thankful for that. We'll keep that one shorter today, but I am happy to go into more detail on what was said. Let me find you guys again here. There you are. All right, I found you all. Let's see if there's any other great quotes, because I was looking for the transcript, which I could not find. I was rushing to get here before. And another one, again, and I said I've had my differences with her, but AOC has been terrific. Another younger representative who's fighting. Brian Schatz, who's held up all State Department nominees to get Trump to start following the law. Yes, see, these are the things you can do if your leadership acts like leadership. Brian Schatz should be running the Senate, or Chris Murphy. Durbin and Schumer just sort of sat and played. I mean, remember what the Supreme Court was doing the past, I don't know how many years? Durbin, what? Did he ever call any of them? You ever try to subpoena any of them? Enough. We don't need that anymore. The new norms are you kick their butts, you knock them around rhetorically, you tell them that you're going to, you threaten them politically, I'm saying. And that's why you show up and you make a spectacle like they did. And remember, I asked for that yesterday and they obliged. Thank you. You show up and you make a spectacle when you go to the Treasury Department. When you're Hakeem Jeffries, you go back to New York, meet with Governor Hochul and say, well, at least Stefanik's seat is open. They have a bare majority. Hochul already, who I have not always loved, was doing something good and pushing till June. And Hakeem Jeffries said, no, let's not have the election till November. They still have to pass it in the Democratic state House and Senate. But when you look at what they did in North Carolina, stripping the governor of power with their supermajority in their state legislature, they've done that in Wisconsin before. Every time they take power, they expand it. And we don't use ours. So when I see Hakeem Jeffries doing that, when I see Jasmine Crockett doing what she's doing, I can't tell you how happy that makes me. They're getting it. Older leaders, get out of the way. Get out of the way. And let these folks who know how to talk, who know how to use social media, who know what we're up against, who know that comedy and it's gone. The only currency right now is whether you win. You need to win because it's winner takes all. Okay? We don't meet again in the future happily and carve out a compromise. Donald Trump and Elon Musk are fascists. They support fascist ideas. They support fascist parties. They support violence. This is who they are. And Elon Musk is actually the real president. Numerous European countries, we're going to get to that, are taking measures to fight back against Elon Musk because of it. And we should too. Because when we first came in, and I heard a couple of these older senators I was talking about saying, Elon Musk started a big company, he's a genius. Yeah, right. The guy who came here and is working illegally, stole other people's ideas, then found a way to leverage government subsidies. I mean, I guess there's a certain kind of smarts to that, as Trump has animal smarts. But the dude, again, like he has the EQ of a light fixture. He can't get along with everybody. His ratings, like Donald Trump's, are plummeting. Another important thing, Donald Trump has a 47% approval rating right now. Way too high? Yes. The lowest approval rating since Donald Trump last time he came into office. Before that, let's go back like 40 years. Already people are sick of him. They're sick of the flooding the zone, the constant crap, the constant crying, the constant tweets, the constant, and in some sense, they're getting, I wish they got it during the election. They're getting that we're being ripped off. And I think even the flooding the zone is hurting them because people are sick of it. That is the Steve Bannon rule. You move so quickly, the media can't follow what you're doing. People can't follow what you're doing. You disorient them. And that's true. It allows you to get some things through probably. But most of these executive orders have no teeth. And in the end, all they've done is united all of us. They've pissed us off so much. They've gotten us out of whatever depressed stupor a lot of us were in. And I mean, I'm ready. Bring it. I know a lot of you are feeling the same way. So I think flooding the zone, maybe they didn't think about the repercussions of that when you only won by 1.4%. And a whole ton of people did not vote in the end because you propagandized them and you also kicked them off the voting rolls. And, there's a whole lot of other people that fell for disinformation that don't tend to fall for things when it's happening to them. Those are the FAFO people. When they're seeing their family members get deported, when they're seeing their family members get their SNAP payments taken away, they're seeing their family members' unions get destroyed. Suddenly, they're not such big Trump fans anymore. And they're seeing all of it. So with that, it's a shame it had to happen that way, but there's hope. There's hope. So that was really the big first part I wanted to get to, because this is, I mean, again, Jasmine Crockett, again, to quote her, said herself, we've been, that constitutional crisis we've been talking about, we're in it. We have a Nazi saluting private citizen who's broken into the Treasury Department with a bunch of 18-year-old inbred incel goons who are accessing people's private information. They're also breaking HIPAA laws, by the way. They have access to Medicare and Medicaid information, which is despicable because they'll use that against people. I'm sure they're looking for all sorts of things. Oh, do you have HIV? Do you have this? Do you have that? They are looking for ways to use information against people. And Elon, we're going to talk a little bit about how his Tesla market is crashing. So he needs China even more than before. What if China, is not getting enough information from TikTok, so they want to scrape some more? Throw the man in prison. I don't understand. He's illegally there. I don't know if the DC police have purview. Maybe one of you smart people can answer this for me. But bring DC cops anyhow, because Republicans do things they're not supposed to do all the time. Bring any cop. I think Capitol Hill cops, because they work for Capitol Hill and because Democrats have the right to conduct, to look into what Republicans are doing, right? They have the right to look into their private papers. They have the right. I mean, that's the whole principle of when you're sitting on these committees. Well, guess what? Like, the Capitol Police work for them. Show up and arrest him. Again, Or if you want, do it for the fact that he worked here illegally originally. Do it because he's got a criminally bad haircut and a criminally bad personality. And just listening to him makes me cringe. What a loser he is. He's fathered 12 children with like, I don't know how many women, and none of them talk to him. Okay. In any case, this is turning around, guys. And I know these momentum, right? When you watch a sports game, you can feel it in the air. And you can feel it. Because a big thing of what Democrats did yesterday, what they're doing, in general now, again, what Brian Schatz did, a couple of you others would get it together and stop voting for Trump nominees. We need a clear line. These are illegitimate people. They are jokers. These are illegitimate nominees. I don't even care if they're ones that don't have criminal backgrounds, the few that don't or whatever. They are not qualified for what they're being nominated for. Do not vote for them. And there's not one of them that doesn't have something horrendous in their past. They've either been racist or they have done something ethically questionable if they haven't actually outright broken the law or found an unwilling partner around them to attack. I'm feeling good about that. Let's look at what some other folks had to say. Yeah, see, at the same thing, Chuck Schumer showed up and said, "We are going to fight this fight. I'm going to stand with you in this fight and we will win." Chuck, please go away. Like, there was a time Chuck Schumer was important. The Democratic Party was a terrific fundraiser, and we needed that. We didn't have small dollar online fundraising. I'm sorry, folks, but that's just the way it was. If we're going to compete, he is not a leader. I hate saying this. I'm not trying to attack anybody who's a Democrat. We need new leadership. Chris Murphy and Brian Schatz are right there. Tammy Duckworth is right there. Hakeem Jeffries is doing his part in New York, showing what a leader is. Look at this. I'm looking at some of the coverage of these rallies. This man is holding an upside down American flag because our country is in distress, he told me. It is. Another quote. "I am a disabled Vietnam veteran. I get a disability check from the federal government and I get Social Security. So if someone other than a government official with the necessary clearance and experience has access to that, I get nervous." Yeah, me too. We've got unions there fighting. This is good. There's protests going on in capitals all over the country today. And again, it's not just about that, but I've said again and again how important spectacle is. But be creative with these protests, okay? Who are these guys? They're fascists. They're traitors. Again, you don't have to, the thing about when Germany gets overplayed at time, you got a whole bunch of times. You have a whole bunch of fascists to choose from. Okay? Yeah, you show up as Pinochet. Be a little more interesting for the press. A little bit tougher because we actually supported him, and that's a horrible and embarrassing time in our nation's history. But I digress. I'm just saying, in general, for Franco, Mussolini, pick one. Show up dressed as Benedict Arnold and maybe as Quisling. Come on, guys. Bring whatever it is represents the moment. You can do it. And take these rallies and make them something that people pay attention to. Give good visuals. Because again, corporate media is crap and they are against us. So you should support independent media. So I'll give myself a plug. Subscribe to my YouTube here. Even potentially more importantly, subscribe to my Substack, which is growing rapidly and soon is poised to explode. Subscribe to my Patreon. All right. And others out there. My friend Bob Seska. Hal Sparks, Tony Michaels. You know the deal. But let's get our folks to the point where we're getting paid attention to by the few mainstream media outlets that everybody listens to, even though they suck. But they cover us because they have to cover us because we're too big to fail. Sort of like, most of the Republican monopolies right now. 21st Century Suffragettes channel. Exactly, Benny Loco. Let's grow that the hell out of whatever its size is now. Let's triple it. I did. You're right, Sharon Keeney. I didn't say Stephanie Miller. It's hard to remember everybody. Stephanie Miller, John Fugelsang, Brian Karam. I mean, there's a lot of. I'm trying to just think of the people I've had on here. Carrie Jacobus. Look, I have a lot of friends. Tim Fullerton, I had him one time, has his podcast and is big on TikTok. Go follow him. He's been in here in the chat in here before. I mean, and I'm missing people. Tell me. I may not agree with you, by the way, and name everybody you name, because I know some things behind the scenes, and there are some people on the left, creators, who I think I have a problem with because I think they've either radicalized or I think they're doing it for money. And I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna support. Hey, Highcliffe Sparklers here. Thank you. See, Hal Sparks gets it. He just sent a raid and sent his folks over here because he supports me the way I support him. That is how you grow. By all of us supporting each other. And I'm not going to name names. You all know there are a couple outlets out there that don't support anybody else but themselves. So you know what? I'm not telling you not to watch them. I'm not telling you not to support them because we need all the voices we can get. But remember who the people are who are in this for the right reasons. If we all do well together and help each other, we're all going to make money. We may not make as much money. Is that why you did this? Because if that's why you did this, there's an oil company you can go do PR for, or the NRA, or some anti-choice organization that's destroying women's lives. You can go do PR for them, make a lot more money. That's all this is about. This is about actually making a good living while also building a community and fighting back against the forces of fascism, creating a social democratic republic where we have small business owners, a capitalist society that's heavily, heavily regulated with a very, very high top tax bracket. Very, very robust regulations around consumers, the environment, workers, freedoms for women, for the LGBTQ community, for really everybody who's an adult and has a right to make their own decisions on what they do with their life, as long as it doesn't affect me, as long as it's not in the public square. So no, that doesn't include you, person who wants to go get a rocket launcher, because you are a threat by definition to my family. So don't try to put yourself in there. I've had a lot to say today, guys. I've been on kind of a nonstop rant. So join me, talk to me. Maybe this is the first time. Look, guys, show's doing well. I even talked to some folks maybe about some potential advertising today. That's good. We've got a good base of folks here, but it is tough, the amount of time I'm putting in, because I can't do certain other shorter videos that can make me some money. I can't. So I'm trying to make all of this work. And so I ask you to please join Patreon. I ask you to please support my efforts here on YouTube and Substack. I ask you to please, again, 99 cents, $1.99. I don't care. Right now, if someone's willing to throw a super chat my way, you would brighten my mood a lot. Be the smallest one you can think of. Where they let you give me like 1 cent? Try it. But super chats, super stickers, all these things, they make this all doable. Because at this point, with what I'm doing, as I told you, it may not be a permanent thing, but for right now, because there's such a big opportunity that would change all of this, and I would hopefully not have to ever ask you for a super chat again. Such a big opportunity with some things I'm doing that I have to find ways to create time. That's why I had to leave. Well, that and some family issues. Had to stop co-hosting Bob Seska's show, which broke my heart, but I am still going to go on once a month as a guest. That's why on Hal's show, it's going to probably be every other week. Tim K to the rescue. Thank you very much, Tim. Again, you don't know how much that means. Every one of these things means I can do more of this. Thank you, Tinker. $1.99. I really, really appreciate it. But that's the way this will all go, I guess, is, I do have to make realistic decisions based upon this stuff. And I've always said the same thing to you. If you're somebody, because I'm the same way, I try to give to everybody I can. But if you're somebody out there where this is going to decide, thank you, Jay Hine, just to decide whether you can afford things or you have to worry about stuff month to month, do not give me any money. I don't want it. Just understand what I'm saying here. I'm talking to the folks out there who do have the disposable income, who have extra money. Do you have a New York Times subscription? Do you have a Washington Post or LA Times? Do you have a subscription to even any of the other outlets out there that are corporate outlets or whatever? Well, that means you can afford to subscribe to me. I don't have their corporate support. Matthew Tarpley, thank you so much. Kat Marie, that's a long name. I'll try to read it. HTD for life. There you go. Ghost Riders Cursed Crew. Solid stuff. Thank you so much, Kat Marie. My friend Country here. Thank you so much. I think we're at a point now where I could look, and maybe this will member for 2 months, Karen Klein. Thank you. I'm going to take a look at something, guys, and then I'm going to give you what I hope will get someone to act, or one or two people. Oh, okay. We're doing well. Look at that. I was going to harass you and say we're at 487 on Patreon, and I just looked at now we're at 507. So you're doing it. You're making this so I can do this. Let me know, folks. I want to get your emails if you're on the YouTube members list. What kind of a contest? What would be good? What do you want to win? What's a cool contest? You know, I can't give you a Ferrari, but something that would get you, if I can send to you and maybe have of the 200 something people, have 10 to 20 of you, 10% of you win something. What would you want to win that's reasonable? Give me an idea. And that's what we'll do. Because I'm going to reach out to all of you through the YouTube membership. You know, I will ask you to go to Patreon. If you're more comfortable at YouTube members, you can stay there. But I will ask you for your to send something and potentially win something. And so I can have your email. I can add you then to Substack. That will be part of the deal. It's free. And then we'll be able to keep in touch if stuff goes down. So again, if YouTube decides right now, if Google decides YouTube is not worth it, that's it. Everybody who I don't have in Patreon and Substack, we're gone. 102,000 almost subscribers, and I got no way to get in touch with most of you. Crystal Waters, you are fantastic. Hey, Cliff signed up for your Patreon yesterday. Maybe you're one of those. I hadn't looked, so you may be one of the ones that just did it. Thank you so much. Gregory Brown, can of good coffee with a mug. Okay, that works. What if it's Tony's coffee? You know, Tony's creating coffee. Would you want that? Everybody wins. You support Tony too. A Cliff's Edge t-shirt. That easily can be done. So we got can of coffee. If somewhere you're out there in this universe being awesome, Veronica, and Veronica it helps me out with this stuff and is fantastic. Mark these down because this is something we're going to jump on, or I will. T-shirt. And I'm not going to give you too many other options because obviously then we'll be here and there'll be 40 different things. T-shirts, good coffee with mug. We'll see what we can afford to do. Did I get you, Gregory Brown? If I did not know, I said a can of good coffee. Like $20 super chat. You guys are really stepping up today, and thank you. Again, I want to do as many of these as I can. I have to be realistic about all of it. So, and that's all I'm trying to do here. As part of that, you have to understand also, I saw some of the people complaining about Tony and diet pills, which, by the way, I'm going to crush up a few of those on my desk here right now and snort them. Is that okay? Listen, if diet pills are healthy, if they're not dangerous for you, there's nothing wrong with them as part of your diet. I'm not going to tell you to take, I by the way, I don't have a deal with anybody. I'm just telling you in general, like it depends. The proof is, not the proof is not in the pudding, but the devil's in the details will be the better thing here. There's absolutely nothing wrong with endorsing products that are safe for you, healthy for you. And so hopefully after talking to a few people, I'll be able to do that. Oh no, Tony is selling crap. Hey, KG Dog Love, who said that. We have to. Again, I don't have a billionaire funding me here. If you watch Stephanie Miller, you watch John Fugelsang, I know Hal doesn't have ads, and I give him all the credit in the world, but he may be in a different situation where he doesn't need them. I don't know anybody else who does this stuff that does not have ads. Video podcast, audio podcast, anything. T-shirt. We got another one for t-shirt. I think we're going to go with a t-shirt. Cliff's Edge t-shirt will be the deal. We'll get you one of the cooler parts. We got the logo and some of the cooler banners. We'll come up with something awesome. Endorsements help your channel grow, keep you floating. They do. Well, I mean, look, Tony sent his folks here today. Hal sent his folks here today. Stephanie, I go on, she endorses this. There, you know, I get the group that shares her stuff, Political Voices Network, often shares my videos. I mean, I do get some of these endorsements. I've had Greg Olear, is a good friend, put it, you know, share it at his Substack, which is big. You know, I'm just trying to think of people off the top of my head. But there are a bunch of them who've been very kind and helped. Brian Carum has shared my stuff. Terrific guy. And I share theirs where I can. So thank you, Mr. Stoner, to you, dude, for $5. And yes, again, I find myself being ridiculously careful. Maybe I've already gone for it because guess what, guys? They partially demonetized me again today or yesterday. And I don't want to ever care about that again. Soon we will be able to live stream to Substack also that does not care about any of that. So it may just be that I accept that a lot of my YouTube ones may end up losing some of their funding. They may partially demonetize me and I'll get it from other places. That's why we need ads. That's why I need to expand to Substack. That's why I'm glad now for my Twitch folks out there. I love you guys too. Thank you for being here. You know, thank you, V Wood, for becoming a YouTube member. All of this counts in the end. Okay, I've been doing this, talking about this too much. Hi-Fi was talking about you offering a bribe to Mehdi Hassan. On Substack, he said it was 10K. Where is that? Where's the Mehdi Hassan one? Now, somebody's going to have to share it with me again if I can't find it. He said it was 10K to... I know Mehdi, by the way. Don't agree on everything. Bye-bye. I can cancel M6 membership here and upgrade country, Patreon, or Substack. Can you upgrade the Patreon? The Substack is free right now in country. So if you could cancel here at YouTube and upgrade the one at Patreon, that would be the best thing. And then also go join Substack because it's free. We will add extra pay content eventually, but the basic stuff will be free. He said 10K and he refused. So he offered somebody 10K to promote his their stuff there. All I can tell you right now is, without giving away details, that I'm not going to charge anybody 10K, but there looks like there is going to be some substantial Substack growth in my near future. And I don't know if I'll have Mehdi's size of Substack, but it's going to be impressive. And I'm not going to ask for 10K bribes, I promise. Which I don't know if he really asked for, so I'm just relying on what you guys are saying. Space Junkie, new member, thank you so much. Everybody's reacting today. Everybody's being great. In a way, I think that's a lot of what today's about. Because I've had to have some hard conversations. I mean, you know, as I told you, being not the toxic masculine type, like I had to fight back tears telling Bob Seska, I was telling him I couldn't do the show with him anymore. And he knew it was coming. We talked about it. But he's one of my best friends in this business. I love the guy. We have great chemistry on air, you know, and all of that. And I loved co-hosting that show with him. But, you know, because of sound checks and that kind of thing, and because of the part for Patreon and everything, you know, it's not like just going on for an hour as a guest. It was a 2 hour and a half, 2 hour and 45 minute block of my Tuesday. And I did that and my you know, my live stream here, and I couldn't get anything else done on Tuesday. I'm like falling behind on things. What's up with Bob? Nothing bad is up with Bob. If that's your asking, I can't, it's nothing about Bob. Let me be, I mean, we were as clear as we could be on that. I love Bob. As much as any heterosexual man, at least I think, so far in my life. According to Republicans, that could change tomorrow if I see some good, sexy men walking around. So we'll see. But, you know, it was a matter of, I can't put in that much time as a co-host. I just can't. Let's stand up to the billionaires. Yes, stand up to the billionaires. Good name there. That's what I'm here for. Was that a what about Bob joke there? He said, what? She said, what's up with Bob? What about Bob I would have gotten? And Bob's terrific. And you should subscribe to his stuff too, because he's a necessary voice. And again, I will be on there every month, and I'll probably fill in as a guest host on those Tuesdays, maybe one out of every 8, one out of every 10, who knows? So I'll be back there in plenty forms. But it's just, again, it's a time thing. And it's why right now, at least, we're shorting this Wednesday thing. But if this opportunity I have blows up, guys, you'll appreciate it, because then, as I said, won't have to ask you for these kinds of things in the future. I mean, I will ask you to join Patreon for extra content. I will ask you to join Substack, and then if you want to eventually sign up there for extra stuff, sure. But I won't have to ask in the same way for, super chats and that kind of thing. You want to give them, I'm happy to take them, but I won't have to do this kind of stuff, and that will be nice. Because I don't like doing it. I'm just being realistic about the way things are out there. Speaking of billionaires and standing up to them, let's talk about Elon Musk. Can we do that? If I lose you for a second, hold on. I don't think I will, but I'm trying something I haven't tried before. Where is that? There it is. All right. Did you lose me? Was I here the whole time? All right. Let's do this. So, my friends, you'll want to hear this. Ah, so beautiful. Tesla sales. Any of you find yourself out there buying Teslas lately? Yeah. Well, hold on. The video started playing here, which we didn't mean to happen. Tesla is plummeting. In the largest EV market in the country, which I mean, this is not going to shock you, California, their orders for Tesla have fallen by 36%. All over Europe, Western European countries, with him coming in for endorsing fascist parties in Italy, France, United Kingdom, Germany. I don't think they're outright banning Teslas, but they're not adding tariffs on them yet. Although I would recommend to you guys, I'm stealing this from Adam Kingsner. Europe, you want to stop them from messing you 100% tariff on Teslas. And create an alternative to this crappy Starlink and 100% tariffs on that. European countries are slapping massive tariffs on Tesla right now. I'm sorry, not true. Let me start again. They're talking about slapping massive tariffs, but what they are doing is they are no longer purchasing his stupid car. It is plummeting. Let me get you some numbers here, because it's too good not to share with you. As I told you, 36% in California. California is the 5th biggest economy in the world. Tesla, shares of Tesla plummeted 12% on Tuesday, wiping out nearly $50 billion from the company's value, eliciting scrutiny of CEO Elon Musk as he appears to focus on Twitter. On Twitter, he's focusing on being committing breaking and entering into the Treasury Department, stealing our personal information. The losses exacerbate a skid that goes back months. Since Musk acquired Twitter in late October, Tesla stock has fallen by half. So Tesla stock has fallen by half, and a lot of his net worth is in Tesla stock. Twitter, which he bought for $44 billion, being the brilliant freaking genius he is. No, he doesn't have an apartheid emerald mine up in his head, and he's not a guy, who's a lazy, stupid imbecile who would be one of these MAGA losers if he weren't for the fact that of Daddy's emerald mine. You know what Elon Musk would be, right? I mean, Elon Musk, if it weren't for Daddy's emerald mine, I could picture him for you right now. He'd be sitting somewhere, I'm going to guess in his mommy's basement, scratching the lint out of his belly button. He'd have probably a stained, undershirt on, sitting in a 15-year-old lazy boy with a broken crank. He'd be barking at the moon, yelling at the wall about the fact that they don't love him anymore on Tom and Jerry when he watches, and how the mouse never gets to win, and he doesn't understand it. He'd be calling in to I'd say Rush Limbaugh, but he's dead. He'd be calling into Sean Hannity and screaming, yelling about how terrible the world is. And he'd have about a 75-pound bowling ball for a belly that would hang down below his balls. That's who he would be. He wouldn't be able to get himself up out of the chair, which already may be the case if you've seen him. That's who he is. But an emerald mine from Daddy can change a lot of things. So Tesla stock crashing. Tesla sales crashing. Stock down 12%, stock down 50% over the longer period of time. Twitter bought for $44 billion. It was only worth 32 at the time. It's now worth about 8 or 9. Great job, genius. And that should make us that much more untrustworthy, non-trusting. I'm not finding the right word, am I? That should make us that much more suspicious of the SOB because of the fact that he needs the money to come from somewhere. And there's a great big place called China that could purchase plenty of Teslas for the right amount of information he'd share with them. But again, it should be embarrassing for him, and that makes me feel good. Tesla sold a total of 1.3 million cars last year, which marked a the figure fell short of Tesla's stated goal of 50% annual growth. They're growing. Okay, we'll give it to them. They fell short by 10% of what they wanted to do. Oopsie. Let's see about Tesla in Europe. They love him over in Europe. You noticed he even has that weird flip Nazi haircut now? I'm telling you, before our eyes, he's transforming into Adolf Eichmann. Tesla sales in Europe are sliding. Try to hold it together. Tesla. Okay, electric car maker. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. Come on, guys. Give me the stuff. Not content with shaking up U.S. politics. Elon Musk is on a mission to make Europe great again. He can't even make again. He can't make his haircut great again. Why don't you try to make your freaking belly great again? His interventions in the continent's politics come as Tesla sales plunge in Europe, falling 13% last year. There you go. These are the people, Western Europe, the United States, electric cars. Good job, buddy. Way to piss off your market. Schmuck. And remember, that was a Roman salute. Amazing if you think about it. A guy got up on a stage and did a Nazi salute and is now in our Treasury Department. And Republicans not one of them has the courage to do a damn thing. Frankly, even as Lisa Murkowski said anything, where the hell are you? Because if you're the one Republican or one of 3 or 4 with integrity that you claim to be, you'd be out there at the Treasury Department too, because you know this is blatantly illegal. Get out there. Susan Collins, you may have seen, of course, after thinking about it long and hard and really is going to vote for Tulsi Gabbard. Of course she is. Of course she is. You guys noticed that she was crying and whining about Trump's fake tariffs and how it was going to hurt Maine. And as you know, Maine's 2nd district borders there, which gave Trump its 1 electoral vote because they do it proportionally there. So all of those people were going to get screwed and I was going to cheer. And she wrote her letter, how upset she was, blah, blah, blah. Magically, Trump doesn't go through with that tariff. I'm sure there are multiple reasons for this. And magically, she votes for Tulsi Gabbard, who literally, why don't you just cut out the middle man or woman and just take our information and hand it straight over to Putin and Xi and Bashar and all of them? I mean, what's the point in paying her a salary? You can just take our stuff straight to them. Unbelievable. Yeah, FAFO maggots I see on there. Where's the guy? Our FAFO story of the week. This will be Cliff's note, everybody. Meet Hector Luis Valdez Concho, a Cuban dissident and gay man who rallied for Trump constantly. He is currently being held in a migrant detention center in Florida awaiting deportation. The picture of him here has him with a Trump 2024 flag. Underneath it says, "Let's go, Brandon." Seems dark Brandon got your ass, didn't he? This is the demographic targeted by the right, saying Democrats are communists, blah, blah, blah. I don't really care. If you're gay and you're Latino and you're here and you're not a citizen and you hold up flags that say Trump 2024, let's go, Brandon, enjoy the detention center. Hope you're in a really, really small space. Hope your food is gruel. Hope you get kicked out soon. Maybe sent back to Cuba. Enjoy. Why do liberals pretend who people voted for matters? Because it does. John Landrigan, I don't know what your point is. Why did people in Weimar Germany think who you voted for mattered? Why did in Idi Amin's Uganda did people think who you voted for mattered? Although there, I don't think there ever was a vote. But yeah, I do kind of think it matters when you vote in a fascist. I think it matters a lot. And I think that if you don't think it matters, you probably did vote for him. And I hope the finding out is hitting you at this point. And I'm going to mock and laugh and rip apart every damn one of you. When they cut your Social Security, if that's for you, I'll feel sorry for everybody who voted for Kamala Harris, not you. If you need SNAP payments when they cut that, I'm not feeling sorry for you. They deport somebody you know. They take away women's rights from somebody you care about. I'll feel sorry for the person who lost her rights, unless she voted for Trump. But I won't feel sorry for you. I hope you lose your benefits. Let me be very clear. I'm beyond where I have any sympathy for any of you anymore. You're making me raise my kids in this country right now. You did this. So honestly, F you. And I hope that you suffer in every way possible that Donald Trump brings forth. Is that clear enough for you, or do I need more? I hope every policy he passes destroys you and everything you love in life. Everything that you wish for, everything you hope for, everything you love. Is that clear enough, John Landrigan, or do I need to give you more? Oh, abortion is not illegal. It's a state issue. They just tried to pass a law to ban it nationally, moron. And in Louisiana, they sued a doctor in New York for treating her patient in Louisiana, just a state issue. You're a tool and a loser. And again, you're that guy probably sitting there with your Cheetos in mommy's basement and your old freaking chair and your fat belly and your loser life and no job. And you're accepting your government payments, but attacking anybody who doesn't look like you who attacks government payments. And guess what, putty? You're going to find out. And I can't wait. I hope. Please keep up with us here. Let us know all about your wonderful life. I hope he does pay the tariff. I hope he, for you, I hope he puts a tariff specifically on you, which wouldn't work that way, but on products you buy. Again, I have no sympathy. So if you're looking for it here, to quote Jack Nicholson from As Good as It Gets, we're fresh out. Here, I'm going to try to say this in as clear a way as possible. I want you to suffer. Is that clear? Good. Are we clear? Good. Let's keep him as a pet, Kim K. Yeah, let's keep John around. He's funny. John, tell us about your life, loser. Can you do that? Can you tell us about your little toolish life? Are you? What are you? What's your reason for being a right-wing freak? Are you in the closet? You can't accept who you are in real life? Are you cheating on the wife and don't want anybody to know and feel terrible deep down? I mean, because that's your entire party. Who are you? You Pete Hegseth? You Donald Trump? Or are you Mark Foley and Denny Hastert? Are you ripping off people in your businesses? Are you taking people to court 7,000 times or whatever it is? Donald Trump has done it because in the end you hired contractors and you're such an utter piece of freaking dung that you would rather take somebody who worked their ass off for you to court so that you only have to pay them 30%, like he did with all of the folks who built the Taj Mahal, which then he ran into the ground and failed because he's a pathetic animal balloon, diaper-filled, piss cotton candy haired, orange painted loser? Is that who you are? I hope so. Hope you feel good about supporting him, that numbnuts, man, woman, person, camera. I suck and daddy left me 400 million. Is that what he had to repeat to get through his cognitive test that they only give to people that have brain damage? Come on. Let's talk. How's Melania doing? Have you seen him with her lately? Wife sure seems to love him. Maybe we should get a picture, a group of pictures together, all the glares she's given him. And all the time she won't hold his hand. But hey, she's only the third wife. So there could always be a fourth one. He's got 7 more kids to have to catch up to Elon. And maybe they can then all launch themselves to Mars. Can Elon's next project be that? Why does he need a rocket? Maybe he can just take a bottle rocket, stick it up his ass and get himself up to Mars. I'd be all for trying that. I don't even care if I just demonetized myself. It was worth it to say that. Oh, look, Landrigan's in there. I'm supporting JD Vance in 20. Of course you are. You mean JD Vance, the little incel tool, pudgy little loser from near here in Ohio who lied about his entire background? Yeah, good one to bring up, one that I know all about. I've met that little tool before. He's from Middletown, Ohio. Let me give you a little bit of a hint, because you guys don't seem to be really good with maps, like knowing where the Panama Canal is or what the Gulf of Mexico is or anything else. Middletown is nowhere near Appalachia. Nowhere near. Just like I'm nowhere near. 3 hours away. So no, he's not from Appalachia. He's a liar. On top of that, he came from a middle-class family that had veterans benefits. He's a liar. His family made 6 figures. Then he went to Yale and he got upset. You know why? Because all the rich kids wouldn't spend enough time with him. So he had to cry his fat little tears, his little pudgy white boy tears, because mama or whoever, wouldn't take care of him. And then he went out to more elite circles and they also looked at him as the trash that he is. So he resented the elite because he could never be a part of them, just like Donald Trump staring over the bridges from Queens. They would never accept him because they're low-class trash. Nobody who has any dignity or anything wants to have anything to do with them. God, I love when you trolls come around here. Oh, and by the way, he created a fake foundation and wrote in his book about all the people around him, how they failed and all this. People like you, schmuck, all the people that voted for Trump, and it was their fault. If they ever could read and they were literate, they would read his book and see that he insulted all of them and blame them for all of their problems. But then when he claimed he was going to help them, oh my God, I want to help you with the scourge of opioids in my community. Do you know what he did? He started a fake foundation like Donald Trump, who's banned from ever starting a foundation in New York again because he's a criminal, and he ripped people off with it. Misused the funds, shocker. JD Vance used it to hire a member. Think about how evil you have to be to hire a pharma rep, somebody who worked for pharma. So he's trying to tell people he's going to get them off COVID, but he hired a pharma person to go up into the hills and sell more, convince more people to use opioids. That's your party. You loser. Who's in America voted for Trump? That's why Kamala was rejected. He won by 1.4%. Okay. Your guy got his butt kicked in 2020. Most of America didn't do anything. He convinced a bunch of incel, loser, white bread dicks like you to come out and to vote for him, who probably don't normally vote. And it's the only reason why he was able to scrape by in a couple states. By the way, in the worst re-election, in lowest margin of winning an election in years. It's one of the worst elections in American history. One of the few only topped by him losing the electoral vote in 2016. He won barely anything, and he had everything on his side, from your fake media to your corporate media to the fact that the whole world after COVID was kicking out people who were the incumbents, and she still came within 1.4%. He sucks. We just won a state Senate seat, loser, in Iowa, in a district that Trump won by 22 points or 21 points, and the current Republican lieutenant governor won by 22 points. He stepped down to become a lieutenant governor. We just won it by 2 points. So get ready again for 7 more years of backlash against your idiot like we had before. Should we talk about anything else? You want to talk about all the plastic surgery at Mar-a-Lago? Is that like something out of like Escape from LA? Do any of those people actually have any of their original body parts anymore? Or do they all just go around? Do they all rob cemeteries? Cool. Keep going, man. I'm having fun. Thank you for the $4.99. Mass. I think it says Mass. Hey, if you guys will keep giving me super chats, I'll keep insulting John Landrigan all day long. It's fun. Thank you so much, Mass 1959, for the $4.99. That helps. You are awesome. And Gregory Brown, thank you for the 20 super chat. It took Roy Cohn to get him into Manhattan. That should tell the entire tale. Yes, it did. He was a little. So my mom went to the same school as him in Queens, by the way. I don't know if I said that before. She was a couple years ahead, but everybody knew about Donald Trump, who got kicked out of school, kicked out because he was such a loser, and got sent to military school by his dad because his dad couldn't stand him. But unlike him, my mom was confident who she was, and yeah, she did eventually end up in Manhattan. She didn't sit there like a little loser looking over like, I want to be like the important people. I have to put my name up on every building so everybody knows who I am. Have you ever heard Ivanka like sit there and explain? She did that in one of these things. The process of what he does with his hair weave every day, of like the rollers and like the like monkey glue he puts in his hair, and as Penn Jillette called it, the piss cotton candy, and I think he takes some Brillo pads and sticks them up in there, and weaves it all around 47 times. That's cool. You ever notice that his tie hangs down below his balls? Can you maybe, John Landrigan, teach him how to tie a tie? I went to an Episcopalian school for 8 years. I think I learned it by the time I was in junior kindergarten. It really isn't hard. He's now like 112 years old. Can you teach him that? The tie that he probably is a Trump tie that he got and made in China, because he hates China, except for the Chinese bank account, except for saying Xi did a great job on something I'm not allowed to mention here. But you guys know what I'm talking about, back from 2020, except for the fact that he kisses their butts all the time, except for the fact that his guy Pompeo, when he was there, had an investment in a Chinese company, except for the fact that Jared Kushner sat down with those H-1B visas, yes, with a number of Chinese nationals right after the election to try to help them navigate their way and get in here. Just like all you MAGA guys love the H-1B visas. Are those enough connections to China? Oh, remember the 33.5 trademarks China gave to MAGA? Wow, he hates China. And he's just had every product made there, including his Making America Great Again hats. What kind of a loser do you have to be to have your Making America Great Again hats made in China? Can we burst your bubble a little bit more, John? Can we? He also didn't win the golf tournaments. What's his name? John O'Reilly, Rick O'Reilly from Sports Illustrated wrote a whole book on how he cheats at golf. That's how pathetic he is. He kicks the ball forward. What kind of loser does that? In any case, Mr. Stoner, you too, dude, $5. Oh wait, is that from before? If it is, always good to say again. B Wood, new member. I think we did that before. We didn't do Space Junkie 69. Which, of course, is what Donald Trump would do with various porn stars and others to cheat on his wife and then go, because he's for family values, during Shark Week, obsess about sharks and batteries because he's a freaking weirdo, and then go pay them off illegally and become a felon. So, that's worth mentioning, too. You having fun yet, Landrigan? Sheldon Hughes, again, jumping in with $2. Thank you so much, Sheldon. Another super chat. Are you guys having fun? Yeah, I'm not going to even repeat what John Landrigan said on here, you see, because they'll actually not allow me to say it here because it's such a lie, it's such garbage, and you have no evidence, and you just pull it out of the same place you pulled your brain out of, that everybody knows it's a joke, and it means that you mentally, morally, emotionally, I'm glad you're having a great time. Good, I am too. I'm having a wonderful time. What else you want to talk about? All the creative talent on your side? How's Chachi doing? How's the methed out Kid Rock doing? You guys have some great people. Yeah, it sucks having Bruce Springsteen and George Clooney and people like that supporting our folks. You guys have to get an 80-year-old punch-drunk Sylvester Stallone. Good work. What other ways can we make fun of him? Mar-a-Lago, that gaudy shithole. If you're going to keep our secrets, could you maybe not put it in the most disgusting bathroom of all time? Because Donald Trump sits there. Is that a golden toilet too? Gee, Saddam Hussein chic? That's not being too much of a loser. Hey, I'm going to have my entire home look like gold because I've got a lot of confidence in myself. I really am a normal person who has so much confidence. And then I'm going to have my wife pose on a piano like she's a stripper, which she was in the past. Which, by the way, there isn't anything wrong with, except for the fact that she has something wrong with it, and Donald Trump sees something wrong with it. Although does she see it as part of her artistic expression? That's right, for her book. In my book, I write about my stripping. It wasn't what you thought. That Christmas, I hate the freaking Christmas. It sucks. But let me get back to this. I climbed up on the piano and did my pose because I wanted to show the feelings that Chagall had. A starry night with Van Gogh. Because I'm an artist, you see. God, I love when you guys show up. Please show up more, John. Yeah, James Woods is also MAGA. All James Woods has ever done is play himself, an a-hole. Was he good at that? Yeah. I thought he played a good villain in a couple movies. Turns out he really is just playing himself. I mean, the only actor I can think of, and there's, I may be missing a few, but the only actor I can think of that is actually a really good actor is Jon Voight, and he's losing at this point. He was. He's getting too old, and he's losing it too. He's the only actor on the MAGA side that's Academy Award level actor. Only one. Find me another one. Wait, where are you, Landrigan? Are you still here? I don't see you. I wasn't done making fun of you yet. I won't repeat this either. Yes. Trust me, we wouldn't try to harm Donald Trump. Donald Trump eats like a 12-year-old. 3 scoops. Sits there and basically sucks on KFC grease like he's nursing his mom. Watches Fox and Friends in a loop, and while in the crapper in the middle of the night sits there sending out angry tweets about Episcopal preachers who just told him to maybe, have some sympathy for children. But who would have that on your guy's side? You'd like to see them starve. That's all. And what exercise? There was a picture of him trying to climb up just a hill. He needs a golf cart literally to get to the bathroom in his home. Crashes through all the stolen documents on the way, I'm sure. Wow. I don't think any of us need to do anything to him because I think he's taking care of himself. So, yeah. Sorry. What's your next one, Smart John Landrigan? Guys, click the subscription button. You want to hear more of this? I'll do this every time. Make sure a John Landrigan or just John Landrigan himself comes here every time. I promise. This is all off the top of my head. There will always be new material. We all have our talents. John Landrigan doesn't. I think John Landrigan's talent is being an incel. So I guess that's a talent of sorts. But we all have our talents, and one of mine has always been ripping the crap out of Republicans and losers, which is, I just repeated myself. We are not talking issues since Democrats only hate Trump, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's it. I love when you guys go with the Trump derangement syndrome. You know who else derangement syndrome I have? I have Pol Pot derangement syndrome because I don't like murderous dictators. I also have Machine Gun Kelly, as in the real past one, derangement syndrome, because I don't like mobsters that kill people. I also don't like Son of Sam. He was terrible. So I don't really like serial killers. You see, it's weird. It's not deranged when you absolutely loathe people that are the most awful people on earth, that have literally no good qualities whatsoever, that are the 7 deadly sins combined with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, as I said, more combined with pick your various creatures from Greek mythology or Norse mythology like Surtur or others. He's a big fat Jabberwocky. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, that we have derangement syndrome. He's a criminal. He assaults people, many women. He is a multiple criminal. If case had gone forward, he would have been found guilty of sedition. He had to pay $25 million fine for ripping off kids on Trump University. Gee, what's wrong with you? You're deranged. You don't like con men, serial killers, rapists, dictators, all around horrible people that can't find a suit that fits them, people that have to wear diapers, fill them up, and get really angry. People who have piss cotton candy hair. Sorry about that, John. I know that upset you. A guy that can't walk 4 steps without getting winded. He needs help walking down a ramp. A guy that won't go to a World War memorial because he doesn't want to get his piss cotton candy hair wet. A guy that called people who served us suckers and losers. Yeah, it's really weird. It must be deranged to dislike somebody like that. Insulting Gold Star families when this guy Bone Spur McGee had about 76 bone spurs. It's weird. He's the only person to ever have bone spurs in his shoulders and in his ears and perhaps his cerebral cortex. Yeah, so looked at how he effed his kids up. You want to go back, Johnny Landrigan? Find any article in any magazine quoting Don Trump Jr. from 25 years ago talking about how his dad hated them. All the kids, never paid any attention to them, was terrible to his mom and all of that. They all hated him. They became him because it was the financial thing to do and they had no choice. Oh, and by the way, yes, going to the New York Post, calling in with a fake name. Oh, it's John Miller. It's Baron Miller. Gee, I wonder where he got that name from. And bragging about and getting them to write a story on what's, you know, your mistress saying that you were the best ever so that your wife and everyone can see it, thinking that that is something to brag about. Yeah, you picked the real winner there. 6 bankruptcies. 6. Casinos, loser. Let me try to explain casinos again. Somebody walks into a place and hands you chips. Hands you money and you hand them chips so they can then lose the chips and hand them back to you. Because once they've walked in, as you'll notice, there are no windows and there's no clocks and they pump oxygen in there and they ply you full of drinks because all they're doing is trying to disorient you as they successfully do as you sit there and lose all your money. It is the easiest gig in the world to own a casino and get rich. This schmuck bankrupted a dozen of them. How do you bankrupt a casino? He could bankrupt a bank. He would. I mean, you know, he has Elon Musk probably robbing the Treasury for him right now, but if he went to the Treasury, he'd bankrupt it. Probably why he sent Elon. He sucks at everything. Everything. He wears lifts because Obama was taller than him and embarrassed him. And he felt like he had to be as tall and leans forward like the leaning tower of feces pizza so that he almost falls forward on his face to try to get some extra height out of it. And all it ends up doing is making the girdle loosen so his fat belly hangs down to his knees. I don't know. This has been fun. It's like I get to say everything I ever felt like saying. Yep, Trump and Melania sleep in separate rooms. Teresa Jojo, huh? Because Trump smells like farts all the time. Probably true. He smells. I'm sure it's a mixture. What the way Adam Kinzinger talked about it is a mixture of a bath. I think a mixture of an unclean bathroom and BO. Sounds about right. Oh no, is John Landrigan still around? Democrat. Again, I'm not going to read your lies out loud because I'm not going to have that get me in trouble here. But again, it says something that you have to come on here and lie about the very things that any objective platform won't let you say because all you do is make stuff up. Oh, he did that. Okay. Hey, John Landrigan likes to spank his mother when she's in her underwear. John Landrigan chases her around the house and spanks her in the arse. Did you guys know that? Yeah. Apparently you can just say anything you want. It's amazing. John Landrigan likes to put together a cocktail of antifreeze and his brother's fluids, mix them into a cup and chug it. Did you guys know that too? Amazing what John Landrigan likes to do. John Landrigan is the guy who likes to go and watch Tim Allen TV shows about fixing up homes, and it gets him so excited that he has to go in the other room and finish himself off. Hey, we said that before, John Landrigan? You know, you do all that. I mean, it's true. That's what I hear. Apparently, we can accuse anybody of anything. Yeah. Okay, Jim, you can kick him out. I mean, I've had fun with him. I think I pulled my sort of my best. And again, I'm not saying I'm as good as the best ones at this, so don't get me wrong, but the best I can do of comic improv there, which I hope you all enjoyed, of saying every single thing that I think about people like John Landergan, that, you know, it was really mostly just a whatever came to my mind. Thank you, Julie Martin, for giving me the well done. So that I'm going to use here to say, guys, come on. Who's going to join Patreon? I don't have that much more time I can spend here. I entertained you for a while. I promise I'll do it again. You know, if we can get some more, maybe like we'll ban John Landergan for now. But, you know, Jim, if you can tell me, maybe we'll invite him in next week or tomorrow. So if you guys found that entertaining, we could do a lot more of that, because insulting Republicans is just, you know, it's so good I have to eat a couple gummy bears, honestly. Already joined Patreon. Lefty Gramps, my man. Can we get one more Patreon subscriber? I have a couple minutes. I've already gone beyond my hour and 15 I planned. But I love you guys. And we were having fun, weren't we? One more. Mary Spirit. All right. By the way, if you guys love this stuff that much, it's easier when somebody's around. But I've been doing, twice a week, those weekly videos I promised you. And they're really a roundup of the week. And we end up talking about most stuff here anyhow. So if you'd like, I could just make those videos literal 6-7 minute rants. Yep, there we go. Oops, sorry. About Republicans in general, specific Republicans, and just honestly, I'll just go off the top of my head. So, you know, some of it may not work, but a lot hopefully will. I'll do that if you guys would rather I do that twice a week. Because I got to tell you, as cathartic as you said it was for you, it's so cathartic for me. There's so many people I want to say this to all day long. Cliff, I may need to get back my IQ points I've lost with Jim Williams. Yeah, it'll take an hour or two. You know, it's like it's like when they, what do you call it? When they freeze you, right? Some of those movies, Vanilla Sky and whatever, takes you a little while to wake up, realize where you are, or you're in a coma, you know, like you wake up and the zombie apocalypse has happened, like Walking Dead. I know I've talked about that a lot lately, but I've been watching it. So with my older son and enjoying it, because I never watched in the past. So it's like that. Your IQ points will come back to you. Or it may be more akin to like a Jason Bourne kind of thing. If you ever saw the offshoot of the Jason Bourne one with Jeremy Renner, where we found out that they took certain pills to keep themselves intellectually and physically like 0.5% or 1% above normal humans, which allowed them to do all sorts of crazy things. That is so kind. Thank you. Dorothy Raklios. I never laughed so hard. I promise you, I'll start doing this every show. If you guys will support me, if you will support Patreon and Joy, if you will do Sheldon Hughes, who just gave me another $2 super chat. Very entertaining show today, Cliff. Thank you. We'll have our shows where we have great people on, John Fugelsang and Brian Cameron, Skyly Urich, who we just had on, and, you know, Drift Glass and Blue Gal we just had. You know, we'll do some of those. But maybe Wednesday, this is what we're going to do Wednesday, because I wanted to do a little bit of a shorter show, and this is easy. We'll find a troll, and we'll just go off on him or her. Again, I'm not beyond this at this point. I don't have derangement, because derangement would mean you're angry at something for no reason. If I hated, well, actually, I was going to say this microphone, but I might be justified in that. You know, if I hated the wall, that would be derangement, and I walked around and was angry at it. When somebody is an evil, awful, terrible, horrible, obnoxious, pathetic, cultish, angry, loudish, lummoxish, mookish loser, and they're trying to destroy your country, hating them is what a normal patriot would do. That's what you do. That has nothing to do with, oh, well, you're angry. Not angry. Actually feel pretty good. That was fun. Smoke one for me. Yeah. There you go. So I will, even though you guys have been incredible, ask for you to subscribe to YouTube. go to Patreon. And on the way out, because I do have to go within a few, can I get just, so I don't have to even do the, should I do the Jerry Maguire? How about this time I don't even have to do it? How about a couple of you guys rock and roll for me? They don't have to be big. As a John Landrigan thank you fund, also known as the Cliff Schechter Buy the New Computer Fund, so you never have issues with your microphone. If you could, 99 cents, $1.99, you know, those little things, a couple little ones, so I can leave on a high note. Can you do that for me? Because I'm also going to be working harder. I'm going to try to create some of those takedown videos, a few more, because I've been so busy I haven't. And I know, guys, if you folks like those, I think you do. A lot of people do. Let me see my last YouTube video and see. Sheldon Hughes with $1. Thank you, Sheldon. Let me see if I can leave you with something. Should I leave you with a YouTube? I know what to leave you with. Again, guys, here we are. I have 2,889 subscribers. $3 super sticker from C7557. Thank you. I have 2,889 subscribers at Substack. I'm putting this in here right now. Can I get 11 more of you? 11 to go right now quickly. I mean, try to stay here, but go to that Substack link. It's free. It is completely free. And subscribe so you can get me over 2,900. Is that a fair ask? Thank you, Robin Foose, for the $5. That it was so kind. Kay Griff, thank you for the $2. That also is so kind. You guys will always be at the top of the list. T.O. Tool for the $5. Thank you so much. You will be at the top of the list, which means eventually the Substack will be something where there will be a lot of content and it will stay free, but there's going to be some premium content. Folks who have joined Patreon or YouTube, and folks who have given me these kinds of things, I will find a way, depending on the economics of it, to either get you in for free or get you in for like 75% off or something like that. In fact, right now, if you wanted to help me in a different way, I have an offer at Substack where if you join for the year, pay month to month, it's $8 a month. If you were to join right now, it'd be $4 a month. So it's 50% off for any subscribers right now. Diane Capobianco. I'm already a subscriber on Substack. Thank you. You mean TikTok? I'm not talking about TikTok, Matthew Tarpley, although I am on there, but Substack is the more important one. So you could go do the paid one and get yourself the 50% discount. We love that. But if you don't, how about this? Right. It's now called, see, I can't even say it. TITKOK. I don't even know if I can say it on here. Eventually, when we are streaming to more locations, including Substack, and I've got the ads here, I will say whatever I want. And if YouTube decides to every single time demonetize me, we will have other forms of money coming in and it will be worth it. And I'll just use this to grow. So let me go and check and see if anybody went and subscribed. $28.94. You guys rock. I need 6 more. Lefty Gramps coming in with $2. Good takedown today. Thank you, my friend. This is the thing I've always, writing and TV takedowns of Republicans. I'm not the analyst type. I tried that where I'd be invited on TV shows. Like, objectively, I think that if Joe Biden would say more, that's not me. My personality is, here's the thing, guys. I hopefully my friends see it this way. Hopefully you guys have gotten to know who I am. I'll do anything to help the people that care about me and whatever. I will do anything I care about for anything. The people I don't know who are innocent people, I will fight my heart out for to try to help. And people that are horrible people, that are vicious, evil people,
be it politically or any other way, who are trying to destroy my country or my family or my friends or people like you who I care about, might as well consider me a sociopath because I have zero sympathy for them. None. Doesn't even register. Just subscribed, already followed on Blue Sky. Barbara Benstein, thank you. We're going to try it again. Let's see if we got there. 2896. Come on, guys. I have 3 minutes left here, and I need 4 more of you. Julie Buckler, new subscriber, member, here at YouTube. Thank you. Do I have 4 more people in here who can go and subscribe at Substack? Because you guys are awesome. And let me take a look, because I think you've also been subscribing to Patreon while it's going on. You guys are amazing. Yep, we've gone up to 533 there. I can't tell you how amazing you've made this show. And you've also reminded me, why do not saying I'm not going to do other stuff, share news, do whatever, and do takedowns of specific Republicans, but why not just sort of sit here and take down trolly Republicans? That's got to be a big part of it too, right? Yogi Pretzel, I subscribed to Substack. All right. Lefty Grams, I'm on Substack too. I don't know if you were before or that's a new thing. So let's go check it out. Let's go check out if we've hit our goal. 2897. 3 more. 3 more. Come on, guys. We can do this thing. We can do it. You need a payment system linked first. I'm not sure what you're saying there, T. O'Toole. Is that about? I have a payment system linked to Patreon and Substack, so I'm not sure if that's what you're already on Substack. Cool. 3 more. Can we get to 3 more? 1 minute. Can we do it in a minute? This is it, guys. It's for all the marbles, and hopefully we'll let Landrigan in back again tomorrow, and I can just start ripping again. Mike Calavig said, I'm happy to subscribe. Yes, do it. It's awesome. And then you can follow people like me. You'll find other people you care about on there. And again, if you want to, because eventually for the extra content, it will be $8 a month, though you will get all the stuff, the regular content for free. Joni McGillick just subscribed. Awesome. You'll get all the regular stuff for free. There will be like 1 or 2 ones that are up above that. And you now already will have a 50% discount. But I will try to add extra to give you more. Here we go. We're hitting refresh. 2901. We have done it. You are all heroes of democracy. You are heroes of my life. You are awesome. I love you guys. And you have ensured just now with everything you've done, with your amazing generosity with the super chats and super stickers, with your amazing generosity, can't speak English anymore, generosity joining as a YouTube members, your amazing generosity as Patreon members. Again, I will always say, appreciate YouTube members, but pushing Patreon more because of emails and non-trusting YouTube. But still, we thank you for joining. For all of you that have done all that, and Substack, you've all just made my day. You've made it awesome. I got to insult the crap out of a loser Republican who came in here and probably thought, I guess, I don't know. Did he think he was going to upset me? Did he think this is my first rodeo? You think I didn't get paid to go on Sinclair in 2004 and usually debate 2 Republicans at a time? Go on Fox News? I debated that used to be the number 2 guy, number 2, of course, schmuck, Chris Cox, lobbyist at the NRA, in the pages of what was that crappy rag, the Daily Caller, the one that Tucker Carlson started? Yeah, I went into their home turf and ripped him a new one. Sorry, I don't brag about most things. When it comes to debating Republicans or debating crazy leftists who seem to be on their way to becoming Republicans, I mean, Jimmy Dore, Glenn Greenwald mold, which is where Cenk seems to be headed, come bring it. I'll debate you anytime, anywhere. Anytime, anywhere. All right, guys, you've been awesome. I'm going to head out now. You haven't been awesome. This has been one of the best days I've ever had on here. From the fun of what we did, from your guys' support, from the fact that you supported me financially here, that we're moving all this forward. The The protests in state capitals, Rob Law, I think they're just today. But those are these ones. There will be more. You guys keep on keeping on. Be fantastic. I will have one of these tomorrow. Don't know if I have a guest yet or not. Even if I do have a guest, I will find a way to get in a segment where even if we don't have a troll come in, I will find a way to just maybe we'll just rip John Landrigan every day. How about that? Whether he's here or not, John Landrigan, we're just going to rip constantly. I'll tell you everything that I'm thinking about John Landrigan because there's at least 50 other things I can think of off the top of my head that I didn't get to. So you guys are fantastic. Share my show on Twitch. Yes, thank you, guys. I think I had something like 9 subscribers there, and they wanted me to get 10 because that's like a thing. If I haven't gotten there, please subscribe. We want to get above the Twitch level too. Benny Loco for the halibut. Thank you for $2. Gordy Not, first time here, subbed. Dude, you have a rambunctious crowd here. They're awesome. Hopefully, like we like to say in the world, which is why bad leaders are so dangerous, a good leader is somebody who can hopefully bring people together, amuse, inspire, and also really excite, like get people to want to fight. And I hope I left you with that today. And I'm loving what Kelly Starr is saying here. Cliff's Wake Up Wednesdays. There you go. Wake Up Wednesdays. For now, it'll be an hour and 15 to an hour and 30. I'm going to write that down that it was Kelly Starr. So we'll give you credit. And we've got my good friend Veronica, who works with me, is already working on getting so we'll have a list of you guys who are members and that kind of thing. So we can get a graphic on the screen. And you can all get credit for that. But listen, I don't know what to say about today, but this is the best time I've had doing this ever. And one of the best times I've had in a while in a very, very tough period of time for me. Use your Amazon for Twitch. That's right, Kelly Starr. And then subscribe at Twitch. We want to get that bigger too. So I could keep saying this forever. So honestly, and here I am going again. Soulcraft, anger is a gift. Righteous anger is a gift. Anger for no reason I would say, and I agree with you. I'm just saying, anger for the sake of anger because you're grievance and jealous is MAGA, and that's Donald Trump and Elon Musk, and that makes the world horrible. Righteous anger at the right people, and knowing that you don't coddle them, you don't treat them with some respect, you don't fake like, well, we've got norms and we need to be nice to them. No, you tear them a new one. You let them know the way it is. You let them know the law of the land, and you let them know that if they're going to act this way, we're coming. Not physical violence. We don't threaten that. Rhetorically, we're going to destroy you. Yes, and Jasmine is a queen, and that's why I look at her and love her so much, because she knows how to give a rhetorical ripping. All right. Let me throw these guys up here too, because they're awesome. Subscribe, guys. You've got it. And now I am somewhere between 25 and 20 minutes later than I'd planned. So you've been awesome. And as we say, as the sun sets slowly in the west, on this day more than any other, I bid you a fond farewell. Seriously, thank you for being here, guys. That was a whole hell of a lot of fun.